The Writer's Dossier podcast is a proud member of the Authors on the Air Global Radio Network.
Hi, this is Mary Thorson, and this is my Writer's Dossier.
Woo! No writers were harmed in the production of this podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Writer's Dossier. I'm Jeff Circle, and this is the Writer's Dossier studio podcast, Writer's Room, and occasional speakeasy. Today, we're welcoming in my friend, Mary Thorson. Mary, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Jeff?
I'm doing good. You got a great background there. Thanks for joining the show. It's so great to have you on because you've been on the Dossier's radar for a while, and we've got a debut book to talk about today. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Now I'm extremely jealous because I cannot obviously make this a sometimes speakeasy because I'm in my classroom, but I can at least do it with tea. So,
and you know what? I'll get you a shirt for underneath your sweatshirt that say may contain alcohol.
Perfect. Thank you.
Everybody out there, this is Mary Thorson. She lives and writes in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She received her bachelor's in creative writing from the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee and her MFA from the Pacific University in Oregon. She is super duper. Her stories have appeared in the Los Angeles Review, Recon Review, Cotton, Xenomorph, Milwaukee Noir, Worcester Review, Walk in a Hard Place, and Tough, among many others. She is fantastic. And we are here today to talk about her debut, A Woman's Guide to True Crime. Holy crap, Mary. This thing, first of all, I'm so happy for you because
oh, thanks.
You're welcome. You deserve this. Like I said, we've seen each other for a while. We met in Chicago a few years ago. And bing, it's on the screen right there. This is a picture of us. And you're going again. Oh, I'm going to see you April 11th in Chicago. Everybody out there, come and see Mary Thorson in Chicago at the Mystery Writers Conference on April 11th. Thanks for going to that.
I'm so excited to go. I'm not on any panels. I'm just excited to see, I think James, D.F. Hanna is on a panel. We've got Lena Churn is on a panel who's wonderful.
She's in the dossier. She's been on the podcast too. Lena's fantastic.
I know, she's awesome. Who else? I saw that list and I was like, I know so many people on this panel. Oh my gosh, they have Dan Schoen. I don't know him, but I took a class with him once and I was just like, whoa, it's a huge get. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we can't wait to see Lori Rader Day and hopefully Tracy Clark and a lot of people. So that's fine. You're not going to be on a panel because people just pull you aside and ask about, hey, tell me about Women's Guide to True Crime, because people are already talking about this. I'm going to say a few things about it. It has been said to be a collection unlike any other, and it features shocking historical events examined through the eyes of victims, killers, or the women left behind. Holy cow, that is pretty cool. I mean, wow. So these are real stories that you've painted, and I'm going to quote Catherine Butner, author of Killingly, which is a great title, by the way. She says it's beautifully kaleidoscopic collection presenting vivid portraits of violence, hope, and suffering. I mean, just those words together, all right. So we're going to talk about a few things here, folks. This is about a 15-minute interview, so we keep it down to commute time so that you can find everything out you need to know about Mary Thorson, because first thing is she's very cool, and that should make you want to read her book. But then we're going to tell you about the book, too. So, Mary, go ahead and tell us about The Woman's Guide to True Crime, how you came up with it, and how this is so cool and how it's so different.
So I started thinking about a collection like this about 12 years ago when I started my MFA when I was in my mid-20s before I had kids. And I thought it would be really cool to have a collection of short stories that were based on true crimes. And I think someone said, I was telling this to a friend of mine, a writer friend of mine, and they're like, oh, so trauma porn. And I was like, no, not quite. And so the collection really runs the gamut of time. Some of these stories are 12 years old, and one of these stories I wrote this summer. So
the time that you've been writing, but what about time period? Because I thought you meant time period.
Oh yeah, also time period. So time I've been writing 12 years ago to this summer. Time period, it goes from 1852 to present day.
Oh, oh,
So
so you wrote some of these stories, like you said a long time ago. When did you write the Book of Ruth? Because that is award winning, and
it
that's in this
is
collection. People need to grab up. How long ago did you write that one?
8 years ago. I was pregnant with my first child. So
Okay,
I wrote that one 8 years
and
ago.
you wrote a story that ended up in a great crime.
Yeah,
Tell,
I wrote yeah, I wrote that one, and then I also oh, maybe there's something to this. I actually wrote the other ones. I have both Book of Ruth and Casadastrophobia were in Best American Mystery and Suspense. Book of Ruth was 24, and Casadastrophobia was 2025. Um, both of those I wrote when I was pregnant with Lucy, which is hilarious.
I wanted to talk about Casadastrophobia and first of all, tell people what the hell that means. And then tell us
Yeah,
a little bit about that story because it was a big deal.
so it's my favorite title of a short story I've
Yeah.
ever come up with. And it's so Casadastrophobia. I can't believe I'm saying it
Ah,
as fast and as well as I am right now.
onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Is a fear of being of floating up into the sky and not being able to come down. So it's just a fear of being sucked up into the sky. And it's sort of what it comes from for me was I remember being, a kid and looking up and be like, whoa, this is really vast and big. And it's almost a little intimidating, right? Like the vastness of the, horizon.
Uh-huh.
And I looked up, I was like, I wonder if there's a name for that sort of fear. And there was, because there's a name for every fear. So
That is so cool. Tell us about some of the awards that these stories have won already.
sure. So the Best American Mystery and Suspense, Book of Ruth, and Casadastrophobia, by far my biggest accomplishments to date. The Playing House, I believe, was nominated. It wasn't on a final nomination list, but the publishers put it up for nomination for a Shirley Jackson Award. Lockerbie, 1988, which was not included in this book, but it was a short flash piece, and that was nominated for a Derringer. It was a Derringer finalist, I
Nice.
believe.
Excellent.
American Girl Doll was nominated for Pushcart Prize, which is very nice. And then The Hive Broke on a Sunday was also nominated for a Pushcart Prize.
We are here with award-winning Mary Thorson, everybody. Has a lot of stuff that she's done for years. She's extremely talented. She's perfect. She's in the right place at the right time. Mary, all of these stories that we just talked about and all of the accolades and nominations and wins really landed you on the map, and you hit the dossier's radar a few years ago. How was your route to getting an agent and getting eventually this a book of short stories put together for publication? Because we all know you have Lori Galvin, and I'll just shout out to Lori, and I'll tell you a little secret here. She was going to join us today, but she couldn't.
Oh my God. Oh.
I had a surprise all set up for you. Lori's going to be joining the Writer's Dossier at another time. I wanted her to be here today, but Lori, you're wonderful, and I know you love her to death. So, how did you get on Lori's radar? How did you win her over and get to the point where you are in your publishing journey?
Such a good question. I think I must have done something amazing in a past life to get on her radar. I was not querying yet. I was not going through any of that. I wasn't ready yet. I had a short story that was published. I'd only been working on short stories. I'd started a novel right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I had only gotten 25 pages in, and that is the furthest I'd ever gotten on any project.
Yeah.
I am a short story writer through and through. I am not good at writing long form. I mean, I'm not good at writing long form, but it's um, short story is where I feel very safe and I feel at home. And writing longer is intimidating to me. And I'm also just like a lazy person, so getting to the novel length process is a whole different ballgame. So I had started writing it and then I stopped. And I published a short story with Tough magazine that they tweeted out called Undark. And it's in this collection. And it's about the Radium Girls who were painting, the watch faces, and they were getting slowly poisoned by radium paint. And Lori saw that story on Twitter and she reached out to me through my website that I wasn't even maintaining or paying for at the time. And I can't believe it worked. Like, she emailed me through my contact there, and she said, I absolutely love this short story. I still have the email saved. She's gonna, oh my gosh, don't tell her that. But I still have that email saved, and she said, and it was something like, "Let me know if you're ever working on a novel." And so I said, I am working on a novel. I just hadn't touched it in like 6 months, but
Oh no,
that's
that's when everybody lies and say, "Oh yeah, I've got that."
I got whatever you need me to have. And so we set up. I told her about the my collection of short stories, and I didn't even have a finalized collection yet. Lori helped me finalize this collection last year. What would be included and what wouldn't be included. So we talked. She read some of my short stories, but she wanted to see what the novel would look like when it's done. And I said, okay, that's no problem. So I finished the novel, I edited it, and then I sent it to her. And I want to say like a month later, she reached back out to me and said, let's have a call. Do you want to talk? I think it was, she originally scheduled the call for like a week, and then she called back and she scheduled it, or she emailed back. She's like, why don't we move it up? And I was like, okay.
Wow.
And she offered representation from that. And she is just someone who has been in my corner, even when some of the stuff I've had is a tough sell. Like historical fiction, especially historical fiction
Oh
that
yeah.
takes place in the 1850s, is a hard sell, right? And so she's stuck with me, and I could not be more grateful. And I'm very lucky she came into my life.
Well, the dossier is lucky that you came into our lives here, folks. Check out Mary Thorson's dossier. I think, yes, you have a full dossier. You were one of the first, the only yet published people to have a full dossier. We were really proud to do that. And now Lori Galvin is in the dossier too. So look up both of these
Yeah.
folks. You're both wonderful. And so don't worry about hiding anything from Lori. She's watching. So hi, Lori. So let's go with real quick. You've done a lot of short story stuff, and I looking at the Myopic Duplicity collection of short stories that I edited for Leonardo Audio. Your name is the one that's at the bottom of it's not on here. You were next. We couldn't.
I
know. And but Victor Dionda is on this list too.
Yeah.
And
Victor's great.
Yeah, Victor's great. He contacted me about you, about talking to you about the Women's Gonna Murder to true crime. And Victor, tell us about Rock and a Hard Place Press and Victor, and how you went from Lori to now getting this book, and with what they're doing to move this whole thing forward for you.
Rock and Hard Place Press has published a couple of my short stories, and they have just always been like the biggest hype person press in my corner. They are so supportive. All of the editors there, Victor, Rob Smith, who is, the nicest person on the face of the planet, Paul Garth, Roger, Jay, Morgan, Ashley. They're just top to bottom amazing. And I'm sure I missed some names. But they're just so supportive. They're so easy to work with. They're small press, but they treat you and the work like it's a really big deal. And it is. And that's amazing to feel valued that way. I could not be more lucky to be working with Rock and a Hard Place Press. And look at this freaking cover.
Oh, hey folks, zoom into that. There you go. We've got an arc. If you're watching on YouTube /@JeffCircle, you'll see the arc of Mary's new book there, A Woman's Guide to True Crime. What are we talking here? Give us a date. When can we get our hands on this sucker?
So first off, the cover is by Heather Garth. I need to shout her out. It's beautiful. It's the cover of my dreams.
Love it.
And it is coming out March 15th. There is going to be a release party in Milwaukee at Boswell Books. I don't know if you've ever been up in Milwaukee, but if you go to Chicago, I suggest you make the hour and a half trip north. So
there you go.
But that is happening on March 20th, but it is releasing on March 15th, and I'm incredibly lucky and incredibly excited.
Well, this episode is you're listening to this just a few days before this. We're gonna get some hype going before the actual release date, so you can order it now. It'll be there for you. Mary Thorson, folks. Mary, social media. Let's talk about two things. You're going to the conference on April 11th in Chicago, folks. get to Chicago on April 11th, meet Mary, meet all the other wonderful people there. 2, social media. How do we get a hold of you? How do people, and Lori tracks you down on your website. What's the best way that you want to put information out to people so they can follow what you're doing? Where do we get
I'm
you?
on everything except for Twitter. So I'm
Are
on
you
Blue
Are
Sky.
you on TikTok?
No, I'm actually not on TikTok. I take that back. Sorry. I don't
Okay.
even consider TikTok because that's how old I am. But I'm on Threads. I'm on Instagram, Mary Franzen88, and I'm on Blue Sky, and I think that's Mary Thor and then some numbers. But if you type in Mary Thorson, you'll be able to find me easy peasy.
Folks, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop all those handles in the show notes for here because we are big fans of Mary Thorson. We can't wait to see what happens. Can't wait to see what happens next. We know Lori's going to take good care of you. Rockin' Hard Place Press. Shout out to everybody there for doing such a great job. But you put the work into this and you found a really good home. So I know, Rob and Victor are great, and we are looking for good things from you. So, folks, look up Mary Thorson's dossier and go to her website. What's your website?
I believe it's Mary Thorson author at WordPress.com.
I believe. Again, check the show notes. We'll make sure that people find their way
Good
to
Lord.
your.
Yeah, I have to do better.
No, that's okay. No, you have to do exactly what you're doing because we're all really lucky to have this. This is a different, really kind of different approach to grabbing a book with the short stories, with the true crime, but with the angle that people. This is the. I don't want to use the word unique because I believe that's a word that's a pet peeve of mine that people overuse. Things can't
Yeah.
be very unique. No, it's either unique or not. But this is a really different approach, and it's really cool. People, get out there and check this out. You're going to be really pleased with this, Mary. I can't wait to see you in a few months, and we're really excited that this is coming out. So thanks for coming on the dossier.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeff.
Absolutely. We'll see you around. Bye, everybody.
The Writer's Dossier is brought to you by Myopic Duplicity, a crime thriller anthology from Leonardo Audio that asks, do the ends ever justify the means? Get just a few stories in and you'll find out that sometimes the clearest vision hides the darkest lies. Myopic Duplicity is available now with hair-raising stories from award-winning author Rob Hart, Edgar winner Aaron Flanagan, Georgia Writer of the Year Christopher Swan, two-time Derringer winner C.W. Blackwell, and the amazing Matt Phillips, Mindy Carlson, C.B. Bernard, Wes Brown, Eric Beatner, Ash Clifton, Libby Cudmore, Victor Deonda, Terrence McCauley, M.E. Proctor, C. Matthew Smith, and Tony Wirt. Get Myopic Duplicity from leonardoaudio.com or at thewritersdossier.com and find out for yourself. Do the ends ever justify the means? The Dossier Podcast is a production of The Idea Academy.